Hello, the creep. This is the Eep. I saw your video about advice on getting into modern gaming. I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to give you advice as they are avid modern gamers, but I think I have a nice perspective because I am a classic retro gamer just as yourself, but I just never stopped gaming along the way. My heart still belongs in retro gaming. The PS2, I find, is the last of the great retro systems before DLC and updates and online, all that stuff really came into force. That same generation, the Xbox, really embraced that, where the PS2 still wasn't quite there with its online adapter and the hard drive that they later put onto it, mostly for Final Fantasy XI, but also Resident Evil, Outbreak 1 and 2, and a couple other things. So I'm right with you that classic gaming is the way to go, but that I'm really proud of you. Do not shun modern gaming. There's just not a lot there. You say that you're not very knowledgeable of how all the games work, whether you need to have the updates and the DLC, and whether your games are going to expire in 50 years and whatnot. Well, I think you're okay for now. At this point, you don't need the updates, you don't need the DLC. If you have a physical disc, they're actually higher quality than the physical discs that we had in the PS1 era. The Blu-ray discs are actually really tough. The flaw you might miss is if you don't do the updates or the DLC, you might not have the full game, because you may know as well that a lot of games these days don't really put the full game out there. They put out a workable copy, and sometimes you wouldn't notice the difference. But the updates make it work better. But I think you'll be fine for the most part if you just buy a game. And, you know, for instance, the other day I was playing a game that you might enjoy called Until Dawn. It's an exclusive for the PlayStation 4. And I was showing it to my father-in-law, and, you know, there was an update for it. I'm like, I don't want to wait for this. And I didn't have to because I don't care about the online features. Because you can, I think, it shares the choices you've made and see how you compare with other players in the world. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to play the game that I bought now. And in that case, I don't think there was an install for Until Dawn, just the update. I bypassed and got to play the game just fine. A lot of games, just say no to the update. You won't be able to do any of the online stuff, play it online or anything, but for the most part, the game should be fully functional. There might be really cool features that they added in later that you might be missing out on, but just research each game on itself. Another thing is, there's not a lot of games on these newer systems. That was my biggest disappointment, was the Wii U. Yeah, everyone makes fun of it. It has no games. It's dead now. The Switch is looking to follow the same path. But honestly, the PS4 and the Xbox One, the Xbone, they're both fairly lacking, with the PS4 actually picking up. Now that it's the clear winner in the console wars this generation, developers are starting to go, all right, this is a system to to develop games for, and they're doing it fairly well. I personally love the PlayStation VR. I'm happy that I got the PS4 for that. I love my exclusives like the God of War coming out, Until Dawn, like I mentioned, Uncharted. You know, Ratchet and Clank was remade for it. Really great games. I watched one of your videos. I don't remember which one it was that told me why you're buying a PlayStation 4. Looking into it, I tried looking for it, but I couldn't find it. But I mean, whatever you're looking for, there will be that. But there won't be a lot else in terms of physical. Even finding physical games can be pretty hard, just because they don't have a long lifespan. Because I think all the companies, I think Nintendo's really going that way, is digital. And if you're not afraid of digital, and you do sign up for your PSN account, which is fairly easy, it walks you through it. You know, email address, your name. You don't have to put a credit card in if you don't want to. That's fine. It's basically an account. Your name is attached to it, and your identification. But when you download games off of there, which are often pretty cheap, they're there. If your PlayStation gets destroyed or whatever happens, you just when you get a new machine, if you ever do, just sign in with your same account, re-download the games. There's a bit of security to that. Unlike physical discs, where, you know, some friend comes over and goes snap to your disc, it's gone. You can't be like, hey, Sony, my disc is broken, send me a new one. And they'll be like, no, we're not going to do that. So you got that security, honestly. Just like you, I'm a physical media kind of guy. That's how I like my games. But that's just me being old and crotchety. The kids got it right. Digital's kind of the way to go. I mean, yeah, we could feel like, oh, but we're from the time where there was no internet, right? So we can be worried about, well, but what if the internet shuts down someday or their servers? Like, that's likely not going to happen. Yeah, in a time of apocalypse comes in and all the electricity shuts down and we have to use bikes to power machines, and yeah, maybe our classic machines will still be running, but the new ones we won't be able to download from the servers. But I think we got more to worry about at that time, right? At this point, the libraries for Nintendo or Sony, if either of those big giant companies shut down, someone's gonna step right in and swoop up and pick up all the pieces. If not, Sony just gave an update about a month ago where you can actually finally download your games to a hard drive up to, I think, about 8 terabytes it is. So I think you should be covered. So even if their server shut down, you still have an option to store your games. You still have to transfer them back into the system to play them, I hear, but they're not gone. So I think you're okay. That's more data than I think I need for the PlayStation 4. So you're good on that front. So yeah, here's what you do. You go buy a PS4, hopefully a bundle with Uncharted 4, because that's great. I hate to tell you this, but PS1 games, PS2 games, PS3 games, they're not going to work in your PlayStation 4. For that, I say get a PS3. Then you can play your PS1 games at least, or if you're lucky, get one to play PS2. But the PS4, with its store, there's tons of retro-style games at a good price, like Wonder Boy 3 has just been totally remade, but also you can play the original version on it as well. It's like, what, $26 Canadian, so what, like $2 for you guys, and down in the States with your mighty dollar. But I find that there's a lot of great games, and most of them, the indie games and smaller games, are digital only. Like my PlayStation VR, a lot of the games you'll find a physical VR game out there. I mean, yeah, Resident Evil 7, get that if you can get around to getting a PlayStation VR, blows your mind. But a whole bunch of little smaller games, which are really fun, digital only. And one of my friends who bought a Nintendo Switch, he is going digital only, which disappoints me because I really wanted to taste one of those little Nintendo cartridges for the Switch. I hear they taste bad. But yeah, so you get your PlayStation 4, you take it home, you plug in your HDMI cable to your TV. Oh, make sure when you buy it, you buy 2 controllers. That's one thing that many people probably are going to forget to tell you, is that you get 1 controller with it. That's fine, in theory, until you realize it has no battery lifespan at all. And when your controller is dead, you're either going to have to stop playing, or sit in front of your TV, or get yourself extension after extension to get those controllers charged, unless you have a plug-in right beside you with whatever. But it's just a big hassle. Just buy 2 controllers, have 1 charged, swap it out. You're gonna need to. When I got my PlayStation 4, I got a deal on my second controller, and I'm happy I took them on it. I want to get more controllers, but wow, they're expensive. But they're good controllers. This is a solid controller. I don't think we really need the touchpad or the light, but whatever. I guess for VR, but are you getting that? I don't think there's much else. I mean, it's not that scary of a thing. It doesn't cost anything to have the PlayStation 4 outside initial cost. I mean, if you want to play online, nowadays you're going to need a PlayStation Plus account, which does get you free games every month, so there's that bonus. Sometimes I wait for it. I look at a game, I'm like, I don't want to pay money for that. It's probably going to be PlayStation Plus, and boop, it is in a few months, and it's fine. It's a bit pricey, but if you want to play online though, you're going to need it. If you want free games, it's good. It's just it's a nice console. Honestly, I really prefer the PS3 over it. I prefer the PS2 over it. But I needed it for Uncharted 4 and the VR, and that was really important to me. So I can't remember why you're buying it, but congratulations. So I should make a kind of like a bullet point. Purchase system, bring home, plug in to the wall outlet and the TV. Let it go through its startup process. Install what you need to install to bring it up to date. Sign up for a PlayStation Network account or Sony Entertainment Network account. That will bring you right up to date. That's all you really need to do, as far as I remember. And then plug your game in, install the updates if you want, download the DLC if you want. You might also go on a vacation at this point. I hear, I don't know where to go on vacation. I don't vacation. Video games are my vacation, right? But if you're on vacation somewhere, now's a great time. It's going to take about 2 to 3 weeks to get this all set up. And then, yeah, you're good to go. Just make sure your controllers are charged, and you're not expecting too much out of modern gaming. It's not a lot different than you ever had. The PlayStation 1 was the beginning. The graphics are better, but it hasn't really changed a lot since then, unless you are focused on online stuff. Where it does make a difference is the VR. And I've said that like 100 times this video, but that's where the difference is, and that's the cheapest way to get VR. So if you really want to be wowed and possibly get sick, PlayStation VR is the way to go. I don't think I have anything else to say on this, because there's really not a lot to say. It's just uncomfortable and possibly worth it. So if you do it, have fun, and keep creeping out all those geekers.